Hey everyone, Moonlight150 here. So our discussions went on for so long that I felt I needed to break these up into separate videos. So that's why this audio is just us jumping right into the Game of the Year countdown without an intro, because it was after over 3 hours of discussion already. So hope you enjoy that, and we're just gonna jump right into it. Be sure to check out the other videos as they come out. Have a good night.
All right. Game of the Year, like 4 hours in. God bless us.
I'll probably do this as like a separate video.
It's all of our faults. It's all of us.
Wait, it's
All
been
right.
4 hours?
The thing is, we've talked about all these games enough, so I feel like the Game of the Year part
I
is
agree,
actually
yeah.
gonna
It
go
It
my
always
next
goes
video.
quicker.
It's all just gonna be yelling us like, why didn't you vote that higher? Why didn't you vote that lower?
Yeah. There'll be people being mad that they.
What's your problem?
All right, so do you want me
I'm having a good time.
So do you want me to pause after each person if anyone wants to say anything, or just run through the video?
Pause after each one, because
pause.
it's 12. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
it's
do
fine.
it quick.
All right, let's do it.
All right,
Right.
your game of the year for 2024 from
I love that
from
animated
Slice
logo.
Gaming.
We're so
Why
cool.
am I scared?
Oh, I'm worried.
A big countdown. You got to be scared. It's nervous.
Like a nuclear warhead.
Turn up the music. We got music.
Yeah, turn it up, turn it up.
So number 12 coming in with 21 points.
Okay.
21. Oh
We
my.
have
Anyone? What are these?
Dragon Age: The Veilguard.
Yeah.
Oh.
That goes hard.
We got
Okay,
some
man.
production.
All right, so pause, I guess. Oh, wait, go back, man. Go
I
back.
like how,
Oh, wait,
I like how they're all
I forgot we were pausing.
they're all multiples of each
Okay,
other.
I like that.
it.
I like that you have that up there so we can roast.
Yes.
And
Who's setting me vote for this?
I mean,
I guess
I'll also chime in after you because I
You
just
can't. You
didn't
didn't
get a
beat the
chance to
game,
beat
shut
it. Yeah.
I'll just say, since I'm the highest on it, I really like this game. I haven't had a lot of time to talk about it tonight just because it's not in like any of the categories. But I think as an overall BioWare package, it's not as good as like it's not going to reach the highs as the Mass Effect trilogy. But as someone who has tried the other Dragon Age games, all three of them at different times, this game was the first Dragon Age that I finally was able to get into and really love. I think I put 50 hours into it. And after the 50 hours, I really enjoyed the characters and I enjoyed the story. And I just like, and like Vink said earlier, it is probably the best looking game of the year. Like visually, it's stunning. So like, I think BioWare is back, I guess you could say. I never thought they left. Shout out Anthem. But I think at the end of the day, I'm happy Dragon Age made the list. Would have been higher if Binks finished it. But the fact that it's on the list makes me happy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also just currently in the middle of it and just really enjoying the combat and characters and just visual design and world. Just very good video game. BioWare is back, and that means Mass Effect's going to be great.
Fusion
All right.
number 3.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I like that game a lot.
Number 11. We have 24 points.
Okay.
We have
It's gonna be.
All right.
Legend of Zelda:
Oh.
Echoes of Wisdom.
I wish I got to us.
Jack's number one.
Shout out to
Jack
Jack,
number
man.
one.
I wonder what his favorite franchise is.
I guess I'm the Zelda representative.
You got this.
Well, I did play a bit of it. All I'll say is like I really love the ideas of that game. I like how they went in such a unique direction for a 2D Zelda. So like that is like just I like how you're doing something so different for this franchise.
Yeah, I completely agree. I thought the echo mechanic was very good. Sure, I mean, you may have trouble with the menus, but I mean, I still really enjoyed being able to just puzzle solve and get things done. And I thought a good chunk of the dungeons were very good. And overall, just having that Ocarina of Time style open world in the 2D Zelda style was just extremely fun to explore and dive into. And the side quests are pretty endearing. It was just a fun game to play. I think it's just the Nintendo fun for sure.
I do love how they went kind of the combination of what Tears of the Kingdom like menu was and like, design of everything in the open-esque world with the 2D Zelda style.
And I think the ending of the game, the final boss, honestly would have been maybe my boss fight of the year or up there. I thought the ending hour was very good.
All right. So now we will move on to.
Okay. And top 10.
Yeah, here's your top 10.
It's a good thing we did 12 for Jack then.
Yeah.
For number
Hey, yeah, me, bro. Dragon Age.
28
Well, I
points.
guess I was the first.
We have Black Myth Wukong.
Ooh,
Okay,
wow.
I'm out. See you guys.
Well, yeah.
There you
well,
go, guy.
This is the first time we're hearing about this game here. I think.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
it
it
is.
is.
It didn't
we're
even
gonna
get
go-
best art direction or visuals.
We're getting an
Great game.
email soon.
Hold up, Laurie. We need to sum up this as simply as possible. I like the monkey with the stick, okay? That's all it was. I activated a monkey brain part of my brain. It was simple. The secret final boss was incredible. If there was like a boss category, that would probably be up
That
there.
would have won.
I think it's a super solid game for the devs' first attempt, and I'm excited to see what else they do. Like I said, it's really simplistic why I put it up there. I like the monkey. When hitting things with a stick was very entertaining for me for whatever reason.
Yeah, I really
And the way
enjoyed it
that
as
they
well.
delved into the mythology was really well, especially if you're not that big into mythology. You'll learn a lot playing this.
I mean, I thought we all thought this game was fake when we first saw it, and it turned out to be real and very good. I mean, it was just fun to play. Combat was fun. All the bosses were maybe not super mechanically deep. Most of them, some were, that are pretty big standouts. But like, there's so many different bosses and enemies. I mean, there's probably like 100 different bosses and enemies throughout this game. There's massive variety, and they're all like deep in mythology stuff. So I mean, it's just very fun to see new ones and then read up their biography. And the game was just very fun, like the animated cutscenes, all of it just very good for a studio's first game at that.
One of my favorite moments of the year actually was playing this alongside Fusion. That was really fun.
We were the duo, bro.
You guys
Yeah,
were
we
cute
had
together.
a thing going on.
But
Both didn't even vote for this.
I was just saying, for one, I'll say kind of what they said. I agree. I think the exploration and the secrets is what really brought it up my game of the year
Oh, for
list.
sure.
Like without those, it would have been lower. I still think like at its core, the base game's good, but I think the level design with the secrets is like very Souls-like and very. Actually, I like it better than a lot of Souls experiences I've had. I think the secrets here are done in ways that I think are just cool and unique. So like the secrets really bring it up and all the secret bosses. But I do wish the whole kind of funny thing where they say, "Is Wukong's combat great?" No, is Wukong, what did they say? Is
Wukong's combat great? No, it's just okay.
Yeah, it's just okay, which is basically that. I think at the end of the day, it is just okay combat. I wish the combat was better, but it's serviceable and like it gets the job done when you're in these boss fights that are very. I love the one-on-one boss fights where like you're doing what you want to do, so it gets the job done. But there's times where it just doesn't feel as crunchy or isn't as cool as you'd want it to be. But I'm surprised it wasn't on Wolf's list at all.
Oh yeah, because the game sucks. That's why.
You gave it like a 7.
I was told this was a wolf-ass game.
I
don't know. I was just so disappointed in it. I didn't want to put it on the list because of that. But also, I don't know. Like, it's a fine game. I just feel like combat-wise is exactly why it's so low for me. Why I'm kind of low on it.
Slap ass and roll. That's what.
Well, that's the problem. Is that it's like there's nothing deep about the combat, and I feel like it's at its best when you're able to get some of those boss designs by the later half, and especially like the secret boss at the end. It's like very high quality, but most of the bosses you're just kind of hitting with a stick, and it's just kind of brain dead to me.
Can we talk about the final boss real quick?
I mean, you can tell. Yeah, no. That's the thing.
This
I don't
is
want to be
full
like
spoiler.
negative on the game. Like
This is
it's
full
on the list
spoilers,
for a
by the way.
reason.
The
This
amount
is
of
their
disres-
first game.
Wukong if we don't want to hear it.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
amount of
That's why I was being quiet.
the amount of disrespect that the final boss shows you, it is the coolest thing
Yep.
It's awesome.
I've experienced. It's super.
I do think for their first game, it is absolutely incredibly impressive. I'm
This is technically an indie game. Think about that.
By the
I
way,
am super excited for their sequel. That's what I'll say.
I mean, I wrote the acceptance speech for this 2 years ago. I mean, it didn't win. I'm pretty upset.
I think we should storm the Game Awards.
I think this game does a lot of, especially late game. It does a lot of unique stuff that, like, if they would have just kept that sauce they had in the late game throughout the entire game, I think this would be like,
Game of the year.
yeah, maybe
It's
not game of the year,
definitely-
but it would be definitely have a better chance of actually winning
Yeah.
the game of the year because those last parts are so good. But it's kind of like you kind of have a middle part where it kind of slogs, in my opinion.
Yeah,
it's just
and it
like-
might be. It also feels like a budget thing because we know there wasn't a massive budget on this game either. So they had to cut corners at some point.
And it almost
What
feels
I'll-
like they put all their budget into cinematics and then forgot the combat.
My thing about Wukong is like, I feel like it would have worked so much better as like an 8 to 10 hour game, and like you just have
it was
kind of
Yeah.
an almost boss rush esque.
It's like 40 hours, yeah.
You didn't need to like run around and do stuff. Like put all your time and focus on like making a really sick ass combat system and making sick ass boss fights, because that was the best part of the game.
I feel like the final chapter, because the final chapter of the game is open world. The game is very linear, up until the final chapter was more open world. I feel like if they really wanted to make it a bang, if they would have made the final chapter like a boss rush, but like not of previous bosses, of new bosses, but it's like super high quality, and then you get the items that you get during the final chapter normally like that as well.
And it runs at like 12 FPS. That last section is so bad. That's
they
one
patched
big
it by now.
that,
But
one big knock on this game is technically it looks really good, but it doesn't perform well. It is not a game where it's going to hit your.
Especially at launch.
Even on my supercomputer, I'm sitting here having to use every FSR thing I have for it to even get close to 60. I'm like, that's ridiculous.
My Steam Deck barely survived.
Dude. Runs great on deck.
Yeah, it works great now. But yeah.
Okay, but I was making a joke. Oh, never mind. Continue. I think we're good to go.
All right. So now we will move on to further in the top 10 with number 9,
Oh boy.
going up to 30 points.
Please be
All right,
metaphor.
all right. It's not
Yeah.
gonna be metaphor. Come on.
Indiana Jones and the Great
Wow.
Wow.
That's
This is
low.
low.
Yeah, I thought that was
Yeah,
higher.
wait.
Hey, look at us.
Oh, you guys weren't passionate enough about it. Just number 3.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, I
should've-
like. Who wants to go first? Well, we've said a lot back to.
Yeah, I mean, we
Yeah.
pretty much said
Yeah.
everything that we've
Yeah.
needed to.
I'm shocked how much I like it.
I genuinely think like once everyone plays this, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, this probably would have
Yeah,
ended
it's
up
in
in like
numbers.
my top 5." I think it's just not everyone played it, and that's totally okay. And it got its flowers during the the
Oh.
categories.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait,
Oh,
before we get
Yeah.
off, I want to ask Moon what happened.
I mean, this judging goes, I base it more on gameplay than anything else. And the gameplay was the weakest part for me. Like the
Yeah.
combat and
He hated the boss fight at the end. That just
boss
tanked
fight
it for
and
him.
just traversing through the world. It made me realize I hate stealth games where I don't have superpowers, basically.
Mm. Don't play
Yeah,
Star
those-
Wars Outlaws.
You don't got an invisible cloak.
Yes.
At least Star Wars Outlaws, I have like a gun. Like Indiana Jones, you just bare knuckling pretty much everything.
And I
but you also grab what's near you. But yeah.
Well, you get a gun in Indiana Jones, but yeah, no, I never
Yeah.
used it.
That's why I made up for it. I nominated Indiana Jones in like a multiple categories because everything else about the game is spectacular. It's just the actual gameplay itself just didn't work for me. And so many other games this year just had such fun gameplay for me.
And I don't think it's gonna work for everyone. That's why it's like I think you either like it a
Very
lot
distorted.
or you'll like it a lot or you might just not. So
Exactly.
All right.
Really low though,
Wow.
considering how many categories those in.
Yeah, I was gonna
What
be
do you
higher.
want from us?
I'm like,
Hey,
Number 8 with 32 points,
Oh, close. Dude, I love this.
we have Silent Hill 2
Yeah.
Remake.
oh wow, yeah.
Too low.
This one I also expected higher. Yeah.
I put it at number 5. I'm an idiot.
dang, bro. You don't like your own game.
Oh, you know why? I think I put it down a couple spots because I was
It was
like,
too
it's a
long.
remake.
I
It-
did the
it,
same.
It felt a little unfair considering, like, I love the original just as much as I love the remake.
I would have
didn't
put it
really change
higher
much.
if it wasn't as long as it is.
Yeah, it's way too long. But
Yeah,
I love
but-
Silent Hill too.
I mean, we've said a lot. This is just a very good remake and just a very good horror game. It's so good in so many aspects, even if some people think it's a little too long.
You could just say us.
I
Some
mean,
people-
I'm not saying y'all are. You can think that.
You just call me out.
No, I'm trying to. I sound so like an asshole, and
Call
I'm
me by
honestly
my
not
name.
trying to sound like an asshole.
All right.
Fusion, if you counted remakes, where would it go?
Being near my top 5.
God, you suck. I don't want to do remakes.
This could have been higher.
I'm kidding.
See, I just penalized mine a lot of
With
points.
number 7, we have 34 points.
God, this feels like I'm going on a ride at Universal with this music.
We have Stand and Five.
That's
Five
right.
and 7 Remake.
Oh, there you go.
Higher than I expected.
Oh,
Damn, wasn't even Bop's number 1. Oh, it's fine.
Yo.
I already know what Bop's number 1 is. Never mind, I'm pissed.
That,
I mean,
I'm surprised this went as much as it didn't. Like
I'm
get
surprised
its.
it's so low.
Really? I figured
Oh, this is
based
higher
on
than I thought it would be. This is
yeah,
way higher than
because
thought
I
it would be.
figured okay, me and Bench played it, but like there's so many people who voted that like I know didn't play it. I was like, I didn't think it had a good chance, but I will absolutely take this.
Yeah, I thought it would be a lot lower. But I mean, yeah, this is my favorite game of all time for the soundtrack, characters, story, combat, just everything. The open world, I loved everything about it, and I don't see
right.
this not being my favorite game for a long time.
Until the next part comes out, right?
Part 3 comes out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something to look forward to. Gotta
It's
survive
6
until
too
then.
low or too high?
And
Is 6 higher than you thought I would put it, Bench?
Honestly, that's lower than I
I,
thought.
I was thinking 5.
Okay.
For
gonna
me,
have
real
to
quick,
do
just
petting.
going to Rebirth, I think the more like right after I beat it, I was definitely like mixed feelings, but the more time passed throughout the year, I'm like, no, I'm still thinking about this game. Like I'm still thinking a lot about it. I think it just did so many things well. Like shout out all the mini games, shout out all of the content you have in that game. Like there is so much to do, and I think that's like for some people, I think it's like a pacing thing or like, oh, it's too bloated. It's like, no, I think all
They're
of
all
those
good.
things really make the game what
unique.
it is. And again, that fucking soundtrack, man. Listening
Yeah.
to that live with the orchestra was just
I'm hyped.
awesome. And this game's great.
Queen's Blood
Fusion.
slaps.
Also true.
I want to hear Fusion talk about Rebirth. Was Wukong above Rebirth for you, Fusion?
Yeah. Kind of what Bob talks about is like I really do like these characters, but I mean I'm not being negative about the game, but this was the most disappointed I've ever been with a game, maybe ever. And that was just because of how high my hype was for Rebirth
can be-
from the
you
beginning. And I'm not, and I love Rebirth. Okay, love is a strong word, but I like Rebirth enough where, and obviously it's my number 6, and the characters are still great. The combat is maybe my favorite combat in like an RPG ever. Like I love the combat in Final Fantasy Remake and Rebirth. But again, the pacing, where the story goes, and the open world, I still to this day can't believe I don't want an open world game. And third part will probably be open world again. I don't want the open world. I love Remake so much for the linear and just getting to point A to point B and doing the in between and little towns. I hated Rebirth's open world to the point where I wanted to skip half of the side content because
I did.
to me the side content was just like Bop said, a bunch of padding to me when I looked at the side content. I was like, this is a bunch of
I
padding.
just said
Well,
some
you
people
said some
called
people
that.
say it, so I'm
Agree
just
to disagree. Agree to disagree.
and I'm not saying I think this game is a good video game, and I understand why it could be your favorite game of all time. I'm just saying it missed the mark for me personally.
I mean, just make part 3 the biggest open world ever. Let's go.
I also don't think that 7 is a linear game by any means, but you're
Way more linear than this.
It's way more linear.
Sure,
Come on,
yeah, no,
Bob.
definitely, it's more focused. But to call it linear, I think is a little.
I mean,
much.
there's like
But
It's pretty linear.
I
will
still
say-
understand like what you're saying.
I'll say here's the thing. I will say like people who said Rebirth had a lot of padding. It's like Remake also had padding, and I love Remake, but like,
but Remake
Especially the DLC.
30 hours. I mean, Remake's like 50 hours less.
It's definitely a shorter game for sure.
I don't think the Rebirth side content's padding. I really like it. I think it's really good.
I mean, it's your game of the year, dude. Go ahead. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Game.
Yeah, tell Fusion he's an idiot.
Fusion can destroy his PS5, and we'll
I will
let that happen.
I will say though, in terms of the open world, the little bit I played of it, I got to a tower and I'm like, oh my god, we're doing Far Cry towers.
I mean, they have Ubisoft Tower. Remake.
I could
Yeah,
not
they do.
believe it. I was like, this is not real. But shout outs to Rebirth. I'm glad it got the respect.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on.
All right, shout out the Urtree. Come on, baby.
Yeah, number 6
Just, if that pops up, I'm gonna lose my
with
shit.
35
Final
points.
Fantasy 7 for number 7.
So by 1 point, we beat Rebirth with Prince of Persia: The Lost
Yeah,
Order.
dude, this game's awesome.
Talked about this at all.
See, this is where the numbers game comes in because more people played it.
It was on mine too. I voted on it.
Wait, is
Dang,
it?
I thought I was going to be way lower.
I think it's just the fact that so many of us played it. Man, did you put Bench's score?
I'm looking right now. Did I miss his? I don't think I did. Wait, bench.
There
Man,
are-
it's not-
spots.
Did I thought
We haven't even
it's on
talked
mine.
about this game, have we?
Yeah,
wait,
we really
no,
haven't.
never mind. No, it's not on my list. I lied.
Bench.
I thought it was
False
in
valor.
my top 12.
It wasn't
Yeah, I thought
AAA
it-
enough. I get it, man.
Yeah,
I feel-
it, felt,
yeah.
it felt too indie for the guy.
Mhm, mhm.
I mean, I gotta shout out Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. This game's fucking awesome.
It's good.
It is an exemplification of what's so amazing about Metroidvanias, that exploration, that feeling of consistently growing stronger, getting new abilities, like going to areas that you previously weren't able to. It's just the simple brass tacks of what makes Metroidvania so good. I will say, personally, I think it's a little overrated. When people start saying it's the best Metroidvania of all time, I'm like, all right, slow it down. But other than that, I do think it's a very solid game.
I don't think I would go that far, but I do think it's probably like in my top 3 Metroidvanias.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I that's the thing. I get why people love the game so much. It's just for me personally, I don't know if it's like a top.
I do think I put Hollow Knight above it.
I think it's top 10 Metroidvania, but saying it's number 1 of all time, like, bro, what?
Wait, Dirk, did you not put it on your list?
No, I didn't.
Wow, Dark played a lot of video games this year. I think he's better than us.
He
I
played
really like Prince of
72.
Persia.
I played a lot too, which is why it's like I probably love it. This one might actually be the border between love and like, and it's my 9. That's how much I play love.
Mhm.
Really
That's
good
the
game
thing.
too. But
I like it. I wish I loved it.
I think that's where I'm
that's
like
fair.
kind of at, because
Where I
maybe
kind
like
of
Bob,
am. I
I
really
also
like it, but I don't
kind
love it.
maybe like Bob, I kind of prefer a little more like platformy, like fast, like Ori, like a lot of movement. That's what I was trying to think of. So it's like, and this is like on the border between movement and combat, where I didn't like the combat as much, but it's still very good. And I actually need to at some point get to the DLC, but we'll see if I ever do.
Man, forgot
I
about
do
that.
want to replay it already, though, which is another thing. I like it because I really want to replay it.
Hey, this is Tim Getty's game of the year.
Shout outs to
shout out
Cyber
Tim
and
Getty.
the 2 people that were the highest on the game aren't here.
I know.
Shout outs to Jack and Cyber.
And Jack really likes that game.
Yeah, Jack, he said it was like close to his goatee for him.
All right. So number 5 with 47 points.
Wow, what a
There's
jump.
the, there's the
We had a
gap.
jump here.
There
So
we
with
go.
47, number 5, we have Persona 3 Reload.
Yeah.
You couldn't find a better JPEG one?
No. All the better JPEGs were complete white logos, and so it just blended in too much here. So I had to find something with a black background.
I'm the hater on this game. I love this game. All
Hey,
Bench
you're
does
the
is
hater.
It's a big
complain
year.
about it. Why is it my what? Okay.
I like Reload.
Well, yeah, you.
Yeah. Again, this one my remake penalization came in. This is my favorite game of all time. I was like, I put 4.
That's fair.
Because again, like I was more treating a remake, and for some reason, I'm like, I was realizing when I was thinking, I was like, for some reason, this game makes me sound like I'm a sad person. I'm like, I am not, but yeah, I love this game. It's my like the old time really heavy game about like the limited time we have and like on
Adult
Earth,
life.
and like you gotta like build relationships, and that's probably the most important thing. And I love it. So it's and
It's really
there's
good.
a lot of PS2-iness, so I never say like it's the best game. It's just my favorite, and I get why people like some of the like issues and think Persona got better as it went along. Which yeah, I can agree with, but this one still holds a special place in my heart.
Yeah, that's my thing. Where it's like this is probably my least favorite of the 3 I played. I didn't play 1 and 2, so I don't know. But like even then, it's like better than most games. So that just the quality bar of the franchise is so high because of that. And I just think as a remake, we already talked about that aspect, but like they kind of nailed it almost in every way except just content wise. So seriously, shout out to this game. It was awesome.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
All right. Now we get to number 4. We're getting into the last bits here with 51 points. We have
Retreat.
Elatro.
Electro.
Let's go.
Wow.
Well, actually, that makes sense.
Number 2 for I'll be honest. When I was putting together my GOTY list, I was surprised at how low I put it. And like I thought about it, I was like, yeah, no, number 6 seems right. I feel like it's a game that like if I put more hours in it, it would be like top 4 maybe.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at, where it's like I think while this game is absolutely incredible and arguably the game I've put the most time into this year, like there is kind of at the same time a ceiling for how high I could rate it, but at the same time, like I don't want to take anything away from it because it is still a just fantastic, easily playable, pick up and play, do whatever game, and I do love it.
And I'll just say since I'm the highest, because I was kind of in this pack of like 5, 6, and then I kind of joked to everyone in Discord, like I went back and I was like, no, this thing is rising, because I was kind of surprised I could just come back and still like, again, get into that point where it's like, it's 2 a.m. I need to stop. but maybe just one more. So
One more
yeah,
run.
shout out to Balacho. Like came out of nowhere.
Oh yeah. I was also very fixated on it as well. It was just like that crazy rush you get for a good while, and I'm worried of like because I stopped at like 20-ish hours. I'm worried of going back because I'm gonna not play anything else.
I thought, to be honest, I thought I was going to be the reason I didn't win Game of the Year. That's how high I thought you guys were on it. Because you guys were, like, especially in the last 2 to 3 weeks, you guys were talking about it so highly, where you guys were talking about it every day. I'm like, oh, it's going to be in, like, everyone's top 3, and then I'm going to have it at, like, 7, and I'm going to get bullied for it. But
Dude,
I did.
Bench and Dark didn't even put on their list. Did those guys even like games, man?
I never had the chance to complete a run, so I didn't think I could put it.
I didn't beat it, so I didn't put it on my list.
But I still really like it. I voted it for best indie. I liked it.
It's fair enough.
Great game.
All
It's
right.
such a hard game to talk about because it's like
How do you
can't-
talk about
you
it?
have to play it. Like it's
this is,
Oh, no, I'm a
this is terrifying.
All right, top 3 now with
Is that
55
going to be
points.
something I didn't even play? I feel like that's a possibility.
Yes, you already know what it is.
I don't know, man. We'll see.
55 points with 4 more than Balacho. We got Like a Dragon.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Wow! Whoa!
Wow.
Whoa!
Yeah, that really carried it. Was
Wow.
all those number
Well, I
ones.
ruined it.
I need to play this game.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, you got 8
seriously.
games, man. I mean, listen, we talked about it enough. This game is
Yeah.
a fucking masterpiece. It is everything I want from an RPG.
Yeah.
You're the one that put 100 hours into it. I only did like 50, 60, something like that.
Oh wait, my stream broke for a second. Okay. Well, yeah, no, but still, like, it is your goatee. I mean, I want to hear you
Yeah.
talk about it.
No, we've covered it pretty much extensively of like why it's so good. Like there's just the Yakuza, the Like a Dragon series of what it does is just it's like why I love video games is the
Mhm.
seriousness, the combat. It's probably like my second favorite combat down from like the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is like it's such a simplistic combat system, but that's kind of what makes it work so well is that it's very classical turn-based, but there's just little things that's like, oh, okay, I got to think about this, upgrading the job system, trying out different things, and
That's
really
the thing,
mixing
like,
and matching.
It's still one of my favorite combat systems, and I never even touched the job system. Everyone stays with their
Oh,
default
wow,
class
really?
only. I
That's
never
interesting.
swap jobs because I can't keep track of it. So I'm just like everyone just remains as their default class.
That's
And
like it was just funny seeing Kiryu run around as a samurai. Like, this is great, man. But like that's what I mean. It's like it's so silly, but then you get to a cutscene that's like an hour long, and you're fucking sitting there in tears because of how emotional it is. There is nothing else like Yakuza, and I think that's what makes it so special. And that's why I'm like, God, I really hope they don't keep pushing the pedal when it comes to this franchise because I'm gonna start getting sick of it because like there are so many games. But seriously, Infinite Wealth, absolute triumph of a game.
We're so close to victory.
Listen, man,
Like Sim.
Everything right
Number
Oh.
two,
I don't
Sorry,
think it's gonna do it. Fusion,
Let's
I'm not
go
letting myself
join
get
Hi-Fi
excited.
Rush.
we have Metaphor Recon
Oh.
Tokyo.
Okay.
I mean,
Don't
congratulations,
overthrow
Metaphor.
Look at all.
Pat, you want to go first?
Wait, I have a question
Yeah.
for Moon. Did my change affect this outcome?
Not Metaphor. No, it affected some of the other ones, but not Metaphor.
Okay.
Sorry about my freaking
Jet, you
brother.
want to go first?
As you see
Yeah.
here, Like a Dragon had 55, Metaphor had 62. That's like
Wow.
8 point
Yeah.
difference. So no, you're 3
Yeah.
point. So I want you guys to know, Benj messaged me to put Metaphor down from I think it was like your number 9 or something like that down to 12.
He was spraying on
But
the
it's still
hater.
on the
What
list.
a
Still on
hater.
the list, by the way.
Hater.
Yeah, honestly, that's like even if you didn't put it on the list, it would have made a difference.
I mean, no, it's still number 12 for sure. There are good things about it.
Yeah,
It's a Persia on the list, man. Come on, at least give us something.
Yeah.
Anyways, continue. Go ahead. This is your moment.
Oh my gosh, yeah. No, this game, I just love diving into the environment that they created in this in this old timey like British area where you just like it's like I now know what the Atlas games are like and I like their parent formula. But what if we just take it to a different time period and like really like Atlas did a really good job of just making sure like the environments around you and the music matches it, and like the dungeon and everything really make you feel like you're in that past. And yeah, I mean we've all talked about it a lot, so
Oh yeah.
there's much more I can't say that hasn't been said. But yes, I love this game a lot.
Yeah, we got representation, I think, so I'm fine with this. Yeah, very good game.
I respect it. Dude, it's like every time you guys talk about it, I'm like, God, I just need to rush out and actually play this game because it does just look like another Atlas game, and I love those things.
We'll update the rankings after you play.
That is, I want to know the point range now. I'm excited because, like,
yeah, let's see.
I wonder if my vote would have changed.
Unless
Wait, what
Tucker
was the
has
score,
anything.
Metaphor?
Metaphor
62.
62.
62. Okay.
Okay, let's pay attention to that.
Oh,
Because it would probably have been in my top 5.
And
I can't believe
your
you guys voted for
Soggies
Flight Sim.
Game of the year was
Yeah.
Soggies.
Oh, okay, it wouldn't have mattered. Never mind.
Yeah, was not
No.
close.
We always knew.
Nice.
We always knew. Look at these.
Damn.
You and me, Fusion, man, we fight for this motherfucker.
We carry through. Bot's 10. Fuck you, bro.
We are not. It won, guys. We are not doing this right now.
Yeah, we're talking about that's great.
Yeah, Dark wasn't even on this one, man. Dark did PS5, you bum.
I mean, out of 10 of the votes played Astrobot. Okay.
Here's the thing. What can we say about this game that hasn't been said, Fusion?
I mean, best platformer ever, maybe? I don't know.
It's
Well,
a-
you can fight
definitely-
back on
I
that,
can agree
but-
with that.
Here's what I'll say about Astrobot. And this is something I've been thinking about a lot since it won GOTY at TGAs and like ever since I played it. It is a game that felt like they had 1,000 ideas, all good ideas. And then they narrowed it down to 100 great ideas. And then from those 100, they were like, no, we're only choosing the absolute best of the best. And the fact is, like, every level in this game is good. That I cannot say that about any other 3D platformer of all time. Even my absolute favorites, I cannot say every single level is good. Its reverence for PlayStation history as a longtime PlayStation fanboy is so powerful for me. To see characters that I love, including Bloodborne guy, is a very strong feeling that I didn't realize I would get so genuinely emotional about just video game characters, but just seeing them in their little costumes, doing their little things like Snake being in the box or Raiden cutting up a watermelon, just small things like that is like, oh, you get it. You know why it's like the first time I played a game where I felt like the developers were bigger nerds than me. And I can't say enough good about this game that hasn't already been said. It's GOTY for a reason at TGAs and a lot of other places because it's just that fucking good. So Astrobot, genuinely one of my favorite games of all time now, and one that I don't see myself ever not playing.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
game is.
Yeah, sometimes I just want to boot up one of those levels just to feel something. Just replay one of them.
It's like-
Fusion, this is your number one. Go for it, man.
Yeah, this is my game of the year. This is the way we make jokes sometimes in the Discord about how I don't give out a lot of 10s. Astrobot was a 10 out of 10 for me. So it's the point where this was the year where nothing came close. I mean, like I played every other. I didn't play. I mean, I played 14 2024 games, but the fact that nothing even came close to Astrobot for me. Every time I play another game, I was just like, it's the level of polish, fun, controllability, like everything about Astrobot. I cannot think of a reason to be like this game could get any better because I think they made basically the perfect package with the game, and to the way the controller uses all the DualSense features, to the way that like it's a love letter to PlayStation over 30 years, but even if you took the PlayStation stuff out of it, it would still be a fantastic platformer. And it's just the way they do like the secret levels, and like some of my favorite moments in the entire of the entire year are like specific levels from Astrobot. I think it's just like it has cemented my love for platformers, which I really like platformers, but I have a lot less experience with platformers than a lot of people because I didn't grow up on the Nintendo side with Mario. So my platformers were like Crash and Ratchet and Clank and Spyro. So like I have those platformers, but the fact that Astrobot comes on and it's over on PlayStation and it's to the level of those patented Mario games that everyone talks about, that's been talked about for 30, 40 years. Like I think Astrobot is a very special game. I think it's the best PlayStation 5 game that Sony has put out. And I think we're going to talk about this game. This game's going to define the generation of PlayStation. I think this is also a moment where Astrobot went from this little fun thing that's fantastic in Playroom and a VR thing to now I think he is a real mascot of PlayStation, and we're gonna have years and years and years of Astrobot being a mascot.
I mean, that's the fact is like you know me, I'm the biggest Mario fanboy in the world. And the fact is, I think Astrobot is as good, if not better, than most Mario games, which is insanity if you say it to me, of all people. It just exemplifies what makes the genre so special to me. Moon, did you have any words about Astro?
No, I think I said it during the game direction where I voted for that for best game direction. The fact that it made someone like me who doesn't have any affinity towards 3D platforms, it probably actually sucks at them. And I was able to enjoy this as greatly as I did. And the only reason it's not my number one is just because just genre preference and
Yeah, that's fair.
story is also a big thing for me. So the fact that Like a Dragon has like this melodramatic story that I could follow, whereas Astrobot's just, yeah, let's go find all our bot friends. I mean, there's greatness in simplicity, and it did it really well. But just in terms of I want to rank things, it's just a preference kind of thing for me. But the fact that Astrobot is a triumph in a getting me into in a genre that I'm not usually into is just, like I said, a feat of an achievement.
Yeah, I think it shows how good the game is to the point where you say that, and I know Binch also doesn't like platformers that much. And for it to be his third,
I like them, but I never put them in front of a game with a story.
Because I really just like shitting on me.
But I mean, I think like that Moon was saying, this shows to the testament of Astrobot. I think it's a phenomenal game. And just a testament to like game design and what video games stand for. Just it's fun. I think it was a fantastic design choice to have levels instead of like a bigger area, because then you can really like have a new idea every single level. So it's like that's what I like about Mario 3D World, is that you're getting something new every level, whether it be setting, power up, it just doesn't matter. And Astrobot really does this and stands high as one of the best games ever. It's amazing.
There is a level where you turn tiny and turn into
so
a mouse.
Good.
You literally, and they model the entire environments. Like the leaves turn into platforms. That is one level, and they don't use the power up for the rest of the game. Yep. That is how many ideas they had just ready for this game.
And the home hub is amazing. Going back to that home hub and seeing all the bots you get, and then like being able, every single bot you can interact with, every single bot there and that your home area has an animation that is like to their bot, which is insane that they took all their time. They could have just put them out there and just had them stand there, but no, they took time another day to animate every single one of those bots.
And not only that, the fact you can summon all of them and make a giant swarm like that you can that follow you is like the funniest thing.
My only complaint, like the smallest of complaints, is I wish the hub had fast travel to those like 5 different points.
Yeah, that would help, because you always got to call the bots over to like get help to get over there. Yeah.
But still, like the game is so good.
Yeah, I mean, it was that thing of like I platinumed it, and it's like this is a game where like the platinum enhances the experience so like by such a wide margin. Moon platinumed it before me, which was fucking wild.
I just went on a bender and I just blew through it.
It says a lot. So Beef Bop, why do you guys hate it?
It's not that far in terms of game. I think I was actually almost the reverse of bench this year. It's like for like games of story started to come up. I think it was a combination of that, and you guys know me. I put like 40 hours into Astro's Playroom, so I don't know if I was like this what I expected or was like
you weren't surprised.
I wasn't surprised, but I was definitely one of the people who's like waving my like cheering. Like you guys have to understand. The Team of Sobi and Astro are like great platformers. This is not a tech demo. You have to play this.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's not that far. In fact, probably the best thing about it is like it's way more accessible than most games on this list. Like this is for anyone, which is super nice. Probably more accessible than like most gaming contenders. So that's probably why I'm like the best thing about it is like even is like for anyone who's not like played a Astro game, like yeah. Come get this one now. It's obviously the best one.
Alrighty. And Bop, you hated it?
I was going to say, yeah, okay, I know I've rated 10, but I feel like I should still be able to talk about it.
No, I wasn't going to move on. Yeah, continue, please.
This actually is my first platinum, not just on a PS5, but like any PlayStation game. Granted, PS5 is my first console for PlayStation, but yeah, this was my first platinum, and I agree, Wolf, with what you said. Like, going for the platinum really enhanced my experience. I think the one thing you guys haven't touched on yet that I really enjoyed was that last, like, I guess it's a secret platform. No, not the credits. The secret platform level to get to the platinum.
Yes.
That was some good stuff. Like, I really appreciated because
that one so hard.
yeah, and like, I don't want to say this like as a negative, but I think I did kind of wish that some of the main levels were a little bit more challenging than they were, but I got that at the end with those challenge levels, and granted, some of the challenge levels like in those worlds, some of them were, I'm like, whoa, this just punched me in the face. Like, I was not expecting it to
that
be
last
this
triangle
hard.
level, like crazy.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I really appreciated that it did have that variety of difficulty, and yeah, I mean, it's a graphical showcase. It's got so many features with the DualSense that's still like a show off of the DualSense controller. And yeah, and you kind of alluded to it, Wolf, but kind of that final level of the story, kind of like the grand finale, was a really cool culmination of kind of both everything you're working for and everything that PlayStation has kind of done over the years. And yeah, no, I mean, I just had a really fun time with it.
Also, they released 6 levels for free. Like, that is insanity. Like 6.
7.
And these are not just like, oh yeah, 7. Yeah,
And they don't seem like they're done. They said there was going to be
exactly.
more. So.
I mean, we look at the credits. There are still some VIP bots that haven't been put in the game yet. You gotta imagine next is the Square Enix pack, because they were too babyish to put their games. They put Gex in, which that's a spoiler, I guess.
There's some deep cuts in those bots.
There's some bots I had to look up.
There's a lot of Japanese exclusive bots too, which is crazy.
Even though I didn't play it, the Christmas one is insane. I was surprised. I'm like, how did they get to that? Yeah.
I will say one minor complaint is I wish there was a way, somewhere in the game where you could see the bots and then what game they're from. And so having to Google it, I wish there was a codex in the game somewhere where they'd be like, hey, this is from this, because every time they just expect you to either know or just left in the dark unless you look it up. So that would have been a nice like quality of life update.
At first, I was like, "Oh, it's cool." Like, if you know, you know. But like over time, I'm like, "Yeah, it would be cool if there were descriptions and stuff, like just original game, maybe."
It was also very funny where I'm like, "Oh, that's from this." I'm like, "Oh, no, I'm just wrong. Like, that's not even close."
Dude, I popped off so hard for all those Metal Gear characters, though. I was just like, I could not believe the amount they got. I was like, oh.
The PlayStation themed levels, I mean, they're so good.
They're insane. Like, the fact is, like, there is a part in the God of War level, this isn't spoilers because you saw it in the trailers, where you have to go in a tight corridor and the camera, like, zooms in. And it's like,
yeah, that was funny.
You have to have played God of War to understand why that is such a cool reference. I love it.
I mean, the axe feels just as good as the God of War Ragnarok axe when you're throwing it. I'm like,
crazy.
how is this possible?
Seriously, man. Astrobot, like you said, Fusion, it was just like, after I beat it, I was like, yeah, this is a bullet game of the year. Not even close. And I love Infinite Wealth.
It's the first time in a long time, like probably 5 years, where I've sat here and been like, nothing came close. I mean, it wasn't like I said. I mean, and I've stated that like I had a lesser year than I normally do. I didn't play as many big budget games. I didn't get to every day one game that I wanted to. But even if I did, I can't see a world where most of them would have came close to touching Astrobot for me.
I feel like if a game was as close a contender to Astrobot, like let's just use 1000X Resist for an example. Like if that was just as good, it would be more popular and more talked about, that we would have felt compelled to play it.
Yeah.
But no other game came to that kind of level like Astrobot did.
It was literally just like the scores it was getting was unreal, and deservedly so. But yeah, I mean, I guess we have like the nominations for everyone else, I assume.
Yeah, the rest, best of the rest.
I do real quick want to ask, what do you guys think of 2024 as a whole?
Highs and some low lows.
Yeah, I thought it was honestly, like, depending on the genre you're looking for, there's some really good games, like really, really good JRPGs this year, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah, I think if you were a JRPG fan, it was like the best year ever, and if you weren't, it was kind of okay. Like,
I think it's one of those things where I probably played the least games of the like big stuff, but I'm pretty satisfied with how I feel by the end of the year.
I'll say it was.
Oh wait. Are we?
Whoa, hell yeah.
Hey,
Mario.
roll.
College football.
I'm
But
surprised
yeah,
they didn't.
Going back to just talking about 2024, it is weird because it does feel like the prototypical AAA games didn't necessarily hit this year. And
Yeah.
and mostly from Western studios, I will
Yeah.
also say, because I do think the Eastern studios did show up, but even then, like we were still able to find a lot of games that meant a lot to us, and maybe just in more ways that or different ways than maybe we expected going into the year, and so I think that really shows like the flexibility of like the state of the industry, and based on what we're getting in the future, and just like kind of the what we saw the direction the industry's going after the TGAs. I'm like, I feel pretty good about where we are.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like I definitely agree with you that the West, especially Western AAA, had an off year this year. But I mean, looking ahead in the future, which most anticipated we're going to be doing, I have to say it's like I'm very excited to see where gaming is going to be going. Like I feel like, especially after TGA, if you're like, oh, gaming is done, it's like, what are we doing here, guys? Like, there's still incredible stuff on the horizon.
People have been saying for years that the indies were going to revolutionize the industry, and it's happening right now.
I think it was also like we had a lot of games pre-2024 that we thought were going to hit. I mean, we didn't get Assassin's Creed Shadows. A lot of us expected Death Stranding 2 this year. We had it on our most anticipated last year because we thought it was going to be this year. Then they hit us with a 2025 date. GTA had a chance to be this year. Obviously didn't. So like there was a lot of games where it's like Star Wars Outlaws, for example, that we thought, like me and Bop were like, oh, this will be a game of the year, close to a high 80 scores. Reviews a little lower. I feel like there was
20 points,
a lot of
almost made the Soggies.
Yeah, I feel like there was a lot of games that reviewed a little lower than we wanted or we expected, and then there was a lot of games that just completely missed the year. Like we didn't get Silksong, we didn't get the GTA possibility, we didn't get Death Stranding 2, Shadows got delayed. Like we had a lot of moments where it's like, I think the year could have been better than what it was, and I think that's what makes 2025 so exciting, because a lot of 2024 that we were excited for got pushed.
Yeah.
But yeah, really quick into the leftovers. We don't gotta like spend too much time on all of these. That's your door. Shout out to that. I didn't put it on my list. I'm surprised. I guess Jack and Bench were the ones who put it there.
I'm shocked Outlaws got that high. Shout out to my Outlaws bros.
You and Jack.
I'm very happy with Helldivers too. Love that game.
Sad.
Stellar Blade is great.
Stellar Blade is fucking amazing, and I really wish more of you guys played it because it is actually like one of the most fun games. It would be my number 3.
For the record, College Football 25 was my number 1 game of the year. So
I gave it the other point.
Thank you, Beef. Yeah, Fusion did us no favors.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I also put Arkham Shadows like 6. Wolf. I don't know if you put it, Bob.
Yes, I had Arkham Shadow, I think like 7 or 8. Yeah, it must have been 7.
Fusion, where'd you put Night Souls?
5.
Oh wow, where did I put it?
I had
9.
No, Neville was my second.
I had Trails Through Daybreak as my number 2. It's easily also one of my top 25 ever. Best Trails game in a series of greats. Yep.
For me, Emmy was my number 2. Yeah, so I really
Shout out Black Ops 6.
Oh wow, brothership.
I'm the only one who put Unicorn Overload. God bless. Real quick, so Colin had some words about Frostpunk 2. I'm not gonna read all of them. It's because it is 3,906 characters.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I'll just read this last paragraph. How far can you give in to the demands of a potentially violent mob before you become their proud leader? How malleable is a population to the cold, to hunger, to forced immunization, or strict regulation? How far can you be pushed before it's too far and you're now among the members of the radicals? These questions and more await you in one of the best games of the year, Frostpunk 2. It's all that in a bag of satisfying RTS gameplay, and I can only hope we have more content in those frostbitten pipelines to keep me coming back for more. Cook, man. Holy shit.
Shout out to our producer.
Now I want to play it. Holy shit.
Where's that Colin in the Discord? We get goofy Colin.
My god, that is cool.
Yeah, that mod has a bunch of
Super Mario Party.
I almost put Mario Party.
I put Black Ops 6, or someone else must have as well.
I had like 2
I put it on mine.
I bet I had a bunch of like 2 points.
Hey, Crypt Custodian, shout out.
Oh,
Trading
hell
card,
yeah.
trading card game pocket should not be on this list, guys.
Yeah, well,
Great
I
game.
put it
Should've
up there.
put it on
It's a
there.
great game, as well as Sandland.
Sand?
I didn't really get to talk about
voted?
it, but
Who voted for Dragon's Dogma 2? That game. was
You,
ass.
bro.
No, I didn't. It's at the
I
bottom
love-
of my list.
I mean,
Last
it probably-
game.
So you.
What?
Dragon
Quest
Fire, making a whoa!
Yo.
Life is strange.
Yeah,
Dragon
Life is
Quest
Strange
2.
cut off point.
Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake was great. Highly
Dude.
recommend it.
1 point is so funny because it's like, here's a shout out.
I mean, that means there was
Yeah.
the 12th game.
Yeah,
Lego Horizon Adventures.
yeah. Really quick, Life is Strange. They were cooking for like the first 2 chapters, and then they lost the plot. After that,
So now we can check
Oh,
everyone's
hey,
score.
Oh, okay.
He left it blank. What a chad.
Cyber
There's
Shark,
your
I was
Dragon
like,
Dog
Dude,
2,
it's the Cyber with Helldivers 2. That game is so fucking sick. I hate you, Fusion. You should have played it.
Helldivers 2, the Electro
Yeah,
Eye.
he gave some points to Hellblade 2 as well.
gosh.
Nothing came close.
Hey, we'll take Nova as 2.
Man,
I like how Fusion has.
What is it?
Fusion, you have the campaign for Black Ops, and I didn't even play the campaign, so.
Real quick, can you
making
pause
up
real
for
quick, man? I just need
Why
to.
is he gonna pause?
Okay, here's the thing I need to say. You don't need to go back. All I need to say is this: college football, a game that you played 180 or something crazy amount of hours over, but you're gonna put the 6 out of 10 above it. Your rule for multiplayer games will never cease to fascinate you. It is so weird, Fusion.
Listen,
To be
I've been
fair-
holding back, but
No, hold on. To be fair, I genuinely forgot until Moon was done with the votes, and I wasn't
That's
gonna
even
have to
worse.
change it. I forgot.
just-
I just forgot. I'm sorry.
It's just insane to me.
I'm sorry.
bro.
could have made the top 12.
I don't think, I don't
It
think it
wasn't
was
going
it would
to.
only. I was just saying it would only have been my 12th.
That's fine.
Damn, Dark fucking
damn.
hated games this year.
Hey,
Shout out to Ease.
Wait, so all those games that we said, it's like, how is that not on your list, Dark? He just didn't put anything.
So you didn't put Persona 3 or yeah.
He's got,
Yeah,
he's
he's not.
what the
he's
hell?
Not invited
Like
Dark
taste.
Crew. He sucks. I don't like him. Jack. Hey,
Well, that's a
Astrobot.
surprising number.
Hell yeah.
man.
Wow, Tales of Sanzera.
Only if
Oh, yeah.
Jack was here.
hey, Hellblade 2 at 8.
Lego Horizon is the most interesting. Like here,
Yeah, man.
When you-
Honestly, shout out to
Yeah,
Big
Hellblade
Ben's
over Balatro is.
Oh, that is.
Hey, that's the GOAT. Man. Well, this-
9 souls at 10. Hate it.
No Zenless Zone Zero, you
No.
weeb.
Don't.
I'm just
don't.
saying one.
Okay,
There's a
wait, real
number
quick.
of
Pause.
versions
Can I
down on
explain
9
it? Can I,
souls.
can I explain it? So Zenless Zone Zero, I played 40 hours of it, so it was just a shout out. It wouldn't actually be my number 12, but I'm like, listen.
You
I played
really
40
like
hours.
Prince of Persia more than 9 souls? I don't think it's close. I think 9 souls is
I don't
it's
know.
better by a long shot. I mean, that combat in 9 souls by itself is just better than anything Prince of Persia does.
Here's my thing. I think the combat is better, but I think Prince of Persia's the Nine Souls exploration really.
Stellar Blade. Great
Yeah, I
game.
Damn, he really likes Stellar Blade.
I
Stellar
hate the
Blade-
Prince of Persia.
Dude, I played Stellar
Exploration.
Blade, and it was like a feeling of like, this is what I want video games, man. Like, shout out,
So good.
that game is so fucking
They
incredible.
they cooked.
And Helldivers 2. Helldivers 2 is almost at my number like 2, honestly. It is arguably I've had the most fun with it.
Yeah.
You can continue. Hey, the go.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
This is a good list. I like this.
College football
very
with a
good.
shout out.
That
Hey,
was
he
my
put
shout.
college football at 12.
Yeah, it's a shout out.
Hey, made the list, Fusion.
I love how 12 is just the shout out tier.
It didn't change anything.
Collins. Damn, only 11 games.
Actually, Rich Wizards really came in there.
Dude,
Damn,
holy
shout out
shit,
Pacific
number-
Drive and Lorelei.
Hey, shout out Neva, dude. Shout out Colin.
I didn't realize he played none of the shout outs.
He actually had to have me add Pacific Drive at the end after he submitted because he forgot.
Hey man, Bench, I say a lot of bad things about you, but number 3 for Astrobot, I'll
There's
take it.
actually not a single Western
Call of Duty,
Call of Duty.
you got Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. 11 straight, like.
Okay, but we talked about the West had a rough year this year.
Yeah.
Christian.
I get it, but like.
Dragon Age would have been top 5. I can say that.
Wow, Emio number 2. Shout out
Yeah, oh,
Jack.
yeah. It was so good, man.
I didn't play those.
Like that is it was such a dark name Nintendo made.
See, Mario Party, it was on Jet's list too, Beef Bob. Here we go, the weird one. Okay.
Weird.
This is the still Mike of the
Can you
Soggies.
pause
There
real
you
quick?
go.
Wait,
Pause
where's Flight Sim?
Didn't make a list. I don't know why you guys were thinking
Why
I
were you
voted
talking
for that.
so much about it then? Oh my god. But like, I really do have to talk with you. There's no way you think TCG Pocket is that good. It is.
Dude, I wish Google would tell you how many hours. Does it tell you how many hours you've put into an app?
No.
It gives you
What-
screen time.
Yeah.
What
He
level
has
are you?
Sandland above Astrobot.
I have I think I'm
Oh.
level 30 in TCG.
I'm level 26 now. It's great.
Dude, you did
Hold
not
on.
have to point that out, Fusion. Oh
I'm
my
like,
god.
it's a sore thumb.
Dude,
sticking out right in the
Sandland is
middle.
legitimately like so underrated. Because shout out Akira Toriyama for the wonderful narrative he had, and that like the gameplay of that game is genuinely fun. You do have to like vehicle combat, but it is a great game. If you like
From-
Mad Max, you should play it.
Shout outs Mad Max. I love Avalanche, bro. Black Ops 6 with the shout out, man.
Yeah, good campaign.
Yeah, I had it on it. Great campaign.
And Tactical Breach Wizards.
Moon. Go Mecha Ball. I remember you talking about that one.
Oh, you're the one who had gory, cuddly
Yeah, I knew he
bondage.
was the one that had Gory. He loves that game.
Marvel Rivals at 4. Man, was
That was your indie of the year, right?
Damn.
Gory.
Yeah, Gory.
Yeah.
All right, and that was it.
Guys,
Yeah.
I think we did it.
We did it up.
Before
Yeah,
we start
I'm
closing down,
Tired.
big shout out to Moon who put all of this together.
Yeah.
It's completely just the transitions. It was great. Obviously, it'll be better with even more editing, which he's the only one doing because he's skilled and an asset to this podcast. So massive shout outs to Moon for putting all this together. We couldn't
Yeah, because
do
what
it
you see on
without
the
him.
video version is even more edited than what we're seeing right now. So that's even more work he's putting in.
And the fact is that he's editing a 5-hour talk.
There will
Yep.
probably be cuts somewhere.
And he loves Astrobot, so.
Yeah, it's real. Unlike Bop. I just think, Bop, you have to be real. Like, number 10, that's aggressive.
Nah.
Like, that was like you wanted to send a message.
I mean, I think we should shout out that
Listen,
2 years.
We talk-
We're now 2 years in. Hi-Fi Rush and Astrobot. I think that like, I would have never guessed before we started this whole thing that Hi-Fi Rush and Astrobot would be like the two in a year where like last year we had Baldur's Gate, Tears of the Kingdom, Alan Wake. This year we had Rebirth, Metaphor, and like Hi-Fi Rush and Astrobot are the two. That gets like
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Seriously.
I think we've realized that our niches between the collective is JRPGs and platformers.
Yeah.
Is
Hi-Fi
Hi-Fi Rush a
Rush is the
JRPG?
go. No, it's, well, I mean,
It's a
maybe
platform.
I said and.
and it's really not a platformer, but it has
Yeah.
platforming.
It's,
kinda
yeah,
has
it's like
it.
action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a
action.
rhythm game, but yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
fun. Real ass games between that and Astro. That's the
Yeah,
category.
that's also
Yeah,
true.
real ass
Yeah.
game. That's what.
Yeah.
I think what it honestly shows is we like so far we're very gameplay focused.
Yes.
I mean, those are both two
That's
games
right.
that have just
I
straight up
won.
gameplay and like even though I think Hi-Fi Rush has a good narrative, but for like you're playing Hi-Fi Rush because how good that rhythm combat is.
Oh,
Beef,
so satisfying.
Beef Bop, you guys want to know that these guys used to bully me over being the gameplay guy for video games?
I still prefer the
Ooh.
narrative, but
I still prefer the narrative.
Yeah,
But
okay,
Gameplay
I
great.
heard you, but who won?
I'm
I
happy.
mean, that goes to show how good Astrobot is because it climbed over that big mountain for me.
Bro's playing a video game. He's like, "Where's my popcorn?" Like that's crazy.
And to be fair, I still prefer narrative, but I have came to a middle ground where like if your gameplay is boring, Baldur's Gate, I'm just not playing. I'm just not playing you,
Drop it down to easy fusion. Come on.
brother.
Yeah, that's
I
Bro
did
ending a
that
5-hour
ago.
episode with a grenade and just
That
walking
is
away.
Fusion. You are my goat.
He likes that game, by the way. I just want to point that out. That is
Ah.
so crazy. All right. Well, I think if everyone
Good
enjoyed this
ending
episode, I guess yeah, classic plugs: YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, everywhere your favorite podcasts are found. Find us on Twitter and Blue Sky. Like
Also-
the podcast.
Real quick, shout out to the viewer for listening to all of this. This is
Yeah.
a lot to listen to.
Yeah.
If you made it this far, you're goaded.
If you listen
Just
to
ready
all
for
of
5
this, you got an
hours.
invite on the next podcast.
And listen to us idiots rant about Atlas games for about 5 hours.
Talk about
Okay.
Baldur's Gate 3's combat is terrible.
I said boring.
Oh, Fusion, you're amazing. I love it.
But I'd like to announce that Slice of Gaming has been renewed for season 3 in 2025, so we will be
Oh,
continuing
really?
the podcast soon.
Wait,
no,
does that
wait,
mean
wait.
one of us have to die?
Yes.
I nominate Bob.
The cliffhanger is the
what?
Baldur's Gate thing. The cliffhanger is Baldur's Gate.
He was so quick
Grenade.
with that.
I'm kidding.
So I
Bob.
hope you guys
No,
enjoyed
no-
this nonsense.
Most anticipated soon.
Most anticipated video will be posted soon.
Yeah, next
Oh.
episode or
Yeah,
ish.
next episode. Whenever we get around to it. So we'll see you all on the next video. Bye bye.
Happy New
Bye.
Year.
Congrats, Astrobot.